Hi, this is Sebi again from Seban Film and welcome to my today's motion graphics tutorial. There is also a German version of this tutorial available. Einfach hier klicken oder später aus dem Channel raussuchen, ihr kennt euch aus. Alright. I've been looking for a good motion graphics tutorial on YouTube for a very long time and couldn't find one, so I thought it might be interesting for you guys to tell you something about my last work for the German online TV show Hippenbee. Let's first of all take a look at the final result. As you can see, it is the show's opener or intro, and all the elements used in this animation are hand-drawn. No, what I actually did was drawing randomly objects that have to do with the show, like guitars for the music, as you can see here, and the great Hollywood hills for the movies. And I finally brought all those images together in After Effects. Let's take a look at the images. I saved them all as PNG files and used only a few of them in the final composition. Alright. Again, for your information, I'm using a German After Effects version, but I looked up all the original translations of the effects just for you. Alright. The first step is animating the still images of the drawings as if they were written or drawn onto paper. So let's use this nice Harley Benton guitar as an example. And the first step is dragging this picture onto the new composition button and creating a new composition. And the first thing we do is we add a new solid, white solid, make them comp size, and put it underneath the music layer, well, the guitar. And what we do first is we duplicate the guitar layer so that we have a copy right underneath it. We shut the eye off and work on the upper guitar first. So we use the mask tool and draw a mask right around the corners of the guitar, just like this. Alright, now as you can see there are several lines just overdrawn with the mask. But you need to watch that you only create one mask and don't close it. Just leave it open and just draw a path. And what you do next is you add an effect, generate stroke. And first of all you can choose another color here, maybe red, so that we can see what we're doing. And you increase the size, just like this maybe. Then move forward in the timeline, set a keyframe for end, move to the beginning of the animation, and put this to 0. And if we preview this, we see that the stroke comes like drawn over the guitar picture. And now we choose reveal original image, and the guitar first of all disappears, but if we preview this we see that the path becomes like animated as if the guitar is drawn by an invisible pen. But the problem is we still have those gaps between the mask path. So what we do next is we just shut the eye off for the upper guitar and work on the copy, and we draw a mask just like this and animate those those points just like this. We go to the beginning of the animation, or maybe half a second after it, and animate this mask just like this. And now if we take a look at both of the copies of the guitar, we see that the second mask just covers all the areas that the areas and the gaps from the first guitar, so that it looks quite nice. And now we've got the guitar just like animated as if it's drawn by hand. Now if we do this to all the elements, we should have copies of all the images in our project folder, but only with the composition symbol, and we can drag them into new compositions and use them as animated elements. What we do now is we create a new composition, but we want to have this composition in a certain size for our background, and so we just take a background image. I'm using a background image called Papierbahn, something like paper, and just put it on the new composition button and create a new composition. This takes a moment. Alright, so now we've got our background image that is very, very big, and what we do now is just composite all the elements in the corners of this great picture here. Maybe we drag our guitars on it, guitar animation, put the layer to multiply, scale it down a bit maybe, rotate it, let's preview this. Alright, this looks quite nice. And we do this with all the animations and all the elements we want to have in the picture. In the end, we might have something like this. And if this is done, you might add some nice colors, like I did in here. And then we go to animating the camera, and we just create a new composition. Call this maybe render. And we drag our big composition with backgrounds and all the other layers right in here. Just see how it's called. Okay. We drag it into this composition and move it to the first point where the first animation appears. Yes. Just look for it. Yeah. Alright. And we tick the little box down here to make it a 3D layer, and we create a new camera. 35mm preset is okay. And what we do now is we use those position controls to animate the camera on this big composition. And we set keyframes and just time it right that it fits with the animation we did with the elements. If it doesn't fit, we have to go back to our big composition and change something down here in the timeline, then go back to the render comp and fix everything that has to do with the camera, and in the end we have a very nice animation. Finally, we could add some color correction and motion blur and subscribe to my channel. Yes, you need to subscribe to finish your project. Okay, bye!